No, it's great to be here. Thank you so much, Dr. Rushnick, for having us.
Yes,
We're
thank you.
very excited to be here and talk about how we've been using AI, because we've been using it in a lot of really amazing ways. But first, to tell you a little bit about ourselves, my name is Jared Dylan. You can call me JD. And I am an international recording and touring artist. I graduated from the Frost School of Music, and I've been producing music and animation for Universal Music Group, Disney, and independent artists and entrepreneurs and companies around the world for the last 10 or so years. And so AI has made it possible basically for me to do the job of an entire record label with just my production partner Kevin here, who...
Hey guys, I'm Kevin. I am the co-founder of Jazz Memes. If you want to find out what that is, just go on Instagram. But I'm also a full-time professional musician, and we use AI in the studio constantly. We'll get into all the ways in which we do that, and we're really excited to share with you guys those ways, because we are so excited every single day how it helps us, how it's changing the landscape of the art that we make. So,
thank you. So, we're talking today specifically about AI in music and entertainment, and how we personally have chosen to let it amplify our creativity rather than, and Kevin can talk about his internet drama that he causes on a regular basis, but there's a divide right now, and artists are either boycotting AI or embracing it. So that's where we're at. And we see AI as our new creative collaborator. It's always there. There's actually a lot of different AIs that we'll get into, but we use it almost for every single step of our process now. At this point, most musicians actually have. Right, you can see on the screen that there's about 60% of musicians are already using AI tools, but a good amount of those musicians might not realize that they're using AI, but auto-tune is AI. There's a lot of different forms of AI algorithms that we've really honestly been in contact with and have been in our society for decades. So it's interesting to see how it's evolving now. I want this window smaller, you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's fine. So this is our AI toolkit. Most of the time we're actually using Suno. Do you want to talk about Suno a little bit?
Yeah, so Suno is one of the models that we use regularly. A lot of times in the studio, artists will come to us with demos or ideas, or we each individually might have demos or ideas. I'm mostly a piano player, so a lot of the stuff I come to the table with is composed at the piano as a recording. I might have a melody, a sample idea, and then I bring that. And Suno itself can do a multitude of the production of a song, right? So we can create the lyrics, it can interpret a recording you put into it, and then spit out basically versions based on other elements and parameters you change. We'll demo some of this. It's a little bit easier to understand, and so you guys can see in action how that really happens. But it's very versatile, works with every genre, and part of it, the thing that makes it so exciting is, especially for me personally, I might have a specialty in music on one specific instrument, but now I don't feel limited when it comes to sharing or expressing all musical ideas I might have, because now it enables me to basically take something I put on the piano and it convert it into anything else. And in the past, it was just, okay, cool, I plug in my piano into the computer and I can make the piano sound like a bass or sound like a violin. That's kind of where it was at with some of that recording possibilities with plugins. But now it's completely different, and you'll see that in action.
Yeah, it's really cool. I think a big point that we would like to stress to the class today is that you could, even with little to no music background, actually use these tools in a really powerful and productive way for your own brands, your own businesses. I don't know, maybe your call number needs a little hold music or something. You can generate that, and it could be unique to you and your mission. But to show that in our toolbox, we use a lot of visual AI as well, because it's an immersive experience. It's an immersive industry. Entertainment is more than just, or the music industry is more than just music at the end of the day. So our creative workflow, powered by AI, has become, we start anywhere with like ChatGPT or Claude. Honestly, Grok has been amazing. Grok, I think, has the most personality of an LLM that I've gotten to use. But we'll write lyrics. Maybe I'll have an idea. We have a song actually coming out next week where I had an idea in my head going, sunshine raining on my head, and we're workshopping lyrics. We actually used Suno to workshop. You know what? We have Suno here, and you can see I was actually, so iteration in this game is your friend. You can see I have a bunch of iterations for this song again, which is a track we were working on for another artist, and I needed horn parts without hiring a horn section. And so you can even see some of the prompts. It lets you reuse the prompt too. So you could see kind of the language that I'm speaking to it in. I'm saying 93 beats per minute, which was the tempo of the song. Actually, when I sound checked, I said, can you test this audio real quick? That was the song you were hearing. You didn't get to hear the horn part, maybe later. But it's a funky party time, tight harmony, hits, then opens to solos. Like it, when I say that it legitimately gave me tight horn hits, opening into solos, and then party time vibe, I will... it's really incredible. But for the sake of the class today, Om Patel, I know you. It's pretty much your mission to be paying attention. Would you give us like a word of inspiration real quick?
What type of inspiration?
Anything, really. We're going to demo this real time. So we're going to show you if we can take an idea from a word to a melody to a full song.
All right, so some inspiration that I kind of live by is like nothing really matters, and that everything's going to work out in the end.
Okay, everything will work out.
Yeah.
Interesting. Nothing matters, but everything will work out.
I already hear things. Okay. What's your favorite genre? What kind of music do you like?
I like house music. You know.
Perfect.
Miami music. I had a great time. You know, like artists like Ma P, LP.
Okay.
It all works out in the end.
Yes, though.
Kev, you want to give me something like a chord or something to...
Yeah. So maybe if he's doing some house music, he'll do something with his like some major chords.
Let's go Afro house.
Oh, okay. Afro house?
Yeah,
okay,
it's just for that rhythm, like
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. Nothing really matters. Oh, nothing really matters. It'll all Alright, check it out. Keep that going, Kev. Nothing really matters. Nothing really matters. Nothing really matters. All right.
So we're going to upload this right into Suno. Just something, Om gave us the inspiration on the word or the idea. Jared improvised a melody. I improvised a chord progression right on the spot. And then we're just throwing that audio file right into Suno. And then you're going to see how we're going to use it to interpret the actual audio file, but also we're going to elaborate and probably have it generate the rest of the lyrics too. Beyond just the sort of chorus or main idea riff. And then we'll pick his style, house. Anything, also, look, you can list literally anything, so your imagination can run wild. I've put in these, in any of these boxes here, lyrics, styles. I don't have to put a genre. I could say music that sounds like what wizards would listen to, something random, and it'll interpret that. So you can say whatever you want, okay? You can list all of it. So you can say house music, then you could say what I said, comma, whatever, and it gives you something different every time. I think a lot of people think that by putting something in here, it's going to spit out something exact, but I would akin it more to like going to the casino, you kind of pull the lever and you're not sure what's going to come out every time. So that's part of the experimentation, part of the excitement, is that it's actually like a black box. So you don't know exactly how you're interacting with it or how it's interpreting what you're saying. And you don't know how it's interpreting your audio exactly either. So Jared just is uploading it. He's going to put some of the terms or words in there for inspiration. Put inspirational, because he said it was inspirational to him. So let's put that, a quality, not even like a music genre. And maybe you want to also get the lyrics so it won't before as well, because if you were to just put that in, right, it can actually analyze the recording and it would write out nothing really matters. It can actually analyze the audio and already transcribe your lyrics that you said. So whatever you said in that audio file, it's saying that, but we can augment it so that when we hit the create button, it's going to not only put nothing really matters on loop, it'll add a bunch of other things maybe that are inspired. And I have to say, the lyric model here, I call it Remy. It's R-E-M-I. Maybe it's pronounced differently, but Remy is pretty wild. They have two versions of the lyric model in here. It's basically for generating any other lyrics you want. And Remy's pretty unhinged, I have to say. But it's fun. So we're going to show that too. Jared's kind of outlining a song, basics of a song, a chorus. He's kind of doing that, but we will augment it. You see here it says by line or full song, and maybe we'll do some of that as well before we generate. And he's adding, now they have this. This is new, suggestions. They didn't even have this yesterday. Like, look at this. Dang Dut House Remix, Faster, whatever. Yeah. These are all brand new. But let's give, before we hit create, let's give them some lyrics to generate around it. Because I just want that. You can either pick by line or by song. Let's do by line because you like some of the lines you already wrote. So let's just have it generate some more lines, like maybe the verse or something. Cool. So he did that in one click. It instantly generated an entire line. And now you can go in and edit that, change anything you like, whatever. And we'll see when we hit create, it will create that section. So he didn't sing these words. He didn't sing any of this. And it's going to create it. And again, I'll reiterate, like all of this is fully capable to all of you right now. Even if you don't play music, you just sing into your phone. Even if you can't sing, it'll correct all of that. It'll pick up a melody. It will adjust. I highly urge you to try these yourselves. You can get 5 generations a day on Suno for free. So
10.
Well, yeah, right. You get 5 spins, and each spin puts out 2 songs. So you get a lot actually daily. So I urge you after class to experiment with what we're showing you. Okay, so we're gonna hit create, and it's relatively quick. And it's incredible. Jared used the case of exact parts, and I think that's actually for us the most fulfilling part, because we're not looking to have a complete song that we have no input on. For us, it's that, okay, maybe we can't access a gospel choir right now, but we need that in the background. How can we take Jared's voice, make it a gospel choir, then add that back into the track? That's actually for us fulfilling, because it's something we're already hearing in our minds without the AI. We just need the AI to help actualize that instantly instead of assembling a gospel choir, which is really, really hard to do. So, okay.
I hope this is good.
It might...
Don't worry, we're giving you credit.
Let's hear what the other one is.
That's cool.
Yes, the drum part's great.
This is closer to the original
phrasing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't quite sound like Jared, right? It changed his tone.
It's a woman.
No, but sometimes it even changes it mid-song.
So,
it'll all work out in the end.
It's going to take a second.
Yeah.
One thing I want to mention here, pause if you could pause.
I want to hear the verse.
Oh, that's good.
All right.
One thing Suno's doing, a little trick here, guys, just to mention, is it looks like it generated the whole song, and one illusion it's doing to kind of show you like, oh, look how fast we are, is it's actually not generating the entire song instantly. It generates it like it did, but then when you press play, as you're listening, it's actually still continuing to generate the track.
You see the
as you listen, right?
Updating.
And you know that because we couldn't download the MP3 right away because it's actually not finished. So even as you're listening to it, it's still finishing the generation, even though it's telling you now he can, right? So I'd say it's about like a minute or less to generate the whole thing from.
Oh yeah.
But I mean,
what does the video option do?
Okay, great question. So in my experience, unless they've updated, what it's going to do is essentially create sort of like a video reel of the lyrics, the art. There's sort of a like on one of the songs. Pick one of the songs.
I see. Yeah, like if you.
It's like let's say download video. Yeah, it's basically. It might not let him because he's on this version, but it basically creates a reel.
The free version.
It creates like it creates a reel where it's basically like looks like a music player. It has the album artwork, the song plays, and it has the lyrics. We'll get into we don't use Suno for video, and we'll get into the audio of that. It's playing on your iTunes.
Is it really?
Yeah, it auto does that when everybody downloads. For video. That's the thing. Each of these LLMs is tuned for a specific thing. I think to be competitive, they kind of all start offering kind of the same things that each of its competitors do. But we use so many different ones because each one has a different personality and different workflow. But as you saw, within a very, very, very short amount of time, we took your word, made a progression, it interpreted it, and that's just one click generation that spit out 2 songs. I could do that 10 more times and find the one of the 10 that I'm like, that's the one. Because it got the phrasing right, we like what specific riff it came up with, whatever. And now you can even do in-song editing. So let's say, for example, we're like, it's perfect, but that bridge is terrible, it does something weird. You can actually go in and just change the bridge. And so it's just incredible.
Or say you've got multiple generations that you like parts of, you can extract those, drop them into recording software, and make your own unique remix. Yeah. Well, what I've noticed is that our soundscape for music, as we're mixing it ourselves, is a lot more sophisticated, wide, and luscious than a AI generated soundscape. But if you work them into your mix, they become augmenters or amplifiers of what's already there, which I'm looking forward to showing you another example of later. But you mentioned the generate video. I tried to download it. It didn't download. But it's actually the visualizer for the music is actually a very important part of our process. We like to say that working with us doesn't just stop at the recorded music, but what they've shown actually is on Spotify, if you're aware, they have a canvas, which is just a little visual that plays in the background while your song's playing. A good quality canvas has shown to increase the amount of streams that you get by up to 120%, and the amount of follows that you get by 114%, up to 114%. Which is like incredible numbers for such a simple, small thing that you're not actively driving traffic towards. But the idea, though, being the higher the quality, the more success you can expect. Now we have the ability to generate these reels or these canvases. If you wanted to try and throw one together while we continue the process.
Yeah, I think we need to keep demoing this stuff. Look, we just took that song that we just generated. I think a quick demo could be cool to whip up some visuals for that. I would say for your guys' application, and just to kind of throw out a bunch of ways in which I've used this. I mean, this allows you to basically make custom, unique music that will not be copyright struck in any situation. I do editing for a YouTube channel, and if you put any copyright music, it's gonna demonetize your video, and now that's not a problem. I can basically have background music for any video I edit, and I don't have to worry about, the whole video is demonetized because you played this part of copyrighted music. So, you put all this time and energy into something, a project of any field, not even outside of music. Now you don't have to worry about those hiccups.
So everybody can have a theme.
Correct. Yes.
Music.
You can have a theme music
Exactly.
for anything. In a marketing context, we were talking and we had an idea for, idea for a Swiffer, and I came up with a little riff that then I had Suno generate as an audio kind of ad for Swiffer, which then could be pitched to them. So it doesn't matter what field, I know we're here talking about music and we're going to get into some video and other capabilities, but really we're here as a real case to show you that anything and everything you're working on, you need to start asking yourself, how can this just immediately take this to the next level? How can this speed up my process, augment my process? It's not replacing the process. It's just making you that much more effective and capable. Because we all have ideas and we're just not experts at everything, but now that bar has raised incredibly. Mm-hmm. So let's keep moving through the...
Yeah, absolutely. So we have the track. There's a couple tools we haven't really discussed, Lalal yet, or Moises. Moises is, I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but it will separate a single track recording, like a wave file, into its stems so that you can remix the songs themselves. We've used it in some practical uses for getting stems for a recording to create a backing track for a live show.
Yeah.
But also to even extract stems from a Suno generation to get just a specific instrument for a track. I think it's important to note that every time you do run the audio through an AI like this, and it's dissecting it in a way, that the quality of the audio is degraded every single time right now. And so this is the amount of progress that has been made in the last 6 months alone is parabolic. It's insane. But we're still adapting and adopting AI into our lives. So it's very early, I would say. But did you see that image of the neon road?
Yes, that it generated.
You want to try and throw something together in Midjourney for?
Why don't you send me can you screenshot the album artwork that Suno generated? So I have Midjourney, a professional account for that. We're not going to get too tech complicated here, having two screens. So I'm gonna over here on my computer, I'm gonna generate the Suno generated an album artwork here. You guys,
I mean, I don't. It's gonna make me extract it. Can you just describe
sure.
a neon path?
No worries. Okay, so I'm going to generate an image based on the song title and based on that image that it came up with. Midjourney is an excellent image generator, and there's been releases like ChatGPT just opened up its own image generator, but Midjourney still has its own unique personality and is seen as honestly very artistic. As you can see in this presentation, all the images here are generated by Midjourney. They just have a very different quality than you'll get on any other image LLM. So I'm going to generate some album artwork in the meantime.
While you do that, I will. We could talk about this real quick. I feel like the next slide would be really good to do. But really quick, the value just of what you're seeing happening right now is songs that would have taken us weeks to produce. We give 2 days to the production, then another day for the mix, live with it for a week. Then you remix it. Then you open it up for notes. And everybody's like, okay, it could take a month. A lot of, you have 15 producers by the end of a track 6 months later, and you're finally going to release it. We literally turned weeks and months into minutes right there. For the cost of the software, we no longer had to rent that time in a studio and pay a sound engineer. So I've written 90% cost reduction. I think it's closer to 100 than 90. But anybody could have done this. It didn't really take his piano playing to go, nothing really matters. If you have an idea, a spark of inspiration can be turned into a masterpiece. If you know how to work with a prompt and iterate and iterate and iterate. You're not limited by your playability. If I'm just a guitarist, I can have a piano track generated in minutes. So It's and the experimentation is so refreshing, as like we're coming from this era of having to carefully craft every note and play it all live, and then MIDI makes that easier where you can record something and move the notes around. Yeah. This is like, now I could just think it and sing it and have a whole house track for you in minutes. It's incredible, and we can just focus on more ideas, the next great idea. So this is what I was excited to get to, is a couple specific examples of how we've used Suno and Lalal in our work. If you can hear, this first example is a choir. I wanted a gospel choir for an original song of mine called Here and Now. And I recorded the parts myself, but it didn't. It was all my voice. It didn't sound diverse. It was kind of eh. So this is what that sounded like. And then you run that through Suno, and it sounds like this. And I take those and I layer them on each other, so I'm in the choir, but it sounds like a real true gospel choir. And the cool thing, that's just a snippet of the song right there, but it actually, I put the whole track in there, and I asked for a cappella gospel vocals. It did like call and response with my lead vocal in the verse. It added runs. It did some incredible things, and then it's on the artist or the producer to chop it up, put them in place, and make it fit. But it's
well, it just gave you more options. I mean, essentially, it's still on Jared to make the ultimate creative decision, but it just gives the creator more options.
It didn't replace the creativity, but it has real musicality behind it, and these algorithms are trained by people like us. And so at the end of the day, they are programmable, and they're programmed, but so are we. So this one's really cool, actually. Shadow Dancer is a track that we started working on, or that we produced with a Warner Publishing writer. And this was for a popular artist, but I'm actually singing the chorus here. I'm your shadow dancer, little bit of heaven and a touch of sin. Love and sex and rock and roll, we're born again. Caught in between the final dance, our last romance. Be my shadow dancer. So there's absolutely no AI in that recording right now. But what was our introduction to Lalal, and what's been actually a very powerful tool in writing music to pitch to other artists, has been being able to use any vocal profile for our own songs. And we tried a bunch of different vocalists. This was the one that worked the best with my voice, I think. But let's see if you can guess who it is. I'm your shadow dancer, little bit of heaven and a touch of sin. Love and sex and rock and roll, we're born again. Caught in between the final dance, our last romance. Be my shadow dancer. So it sounds exactly like her to me, but that is... Do you want to guess, Dr. Rushnick? Do you want to guess who you think it is? It's Miley Cyrus.
That was obvious.
It was? Oh, okay, that's so cool. Yeah.
But for me, it was.
Okay, good. But you're a music fan, you know.
Yeah, but it sounded like... So, we're going to have to wrap up soon.
Sure.
But I'd love for you to demonstrate. And what is maybe you could do the art.
We can.
Well, yeah. So that was our big finale. Actually, we're wrapping up here, and so
let's wrap that up. And then if you are open, I have another class right after this. If you have a few minutes, you can join me.
I might be able to. I don't know if
depending on how.
He's working tonight.
Cool. I thought that was amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
I thought that was the best song.
You like that one? Thank you. Well,
I did.
Actually, that's a great point. I think there's also one other thing here. We have found, and I think this will remain true, the better things we put into these LLMs, the better results. So, yes, the better trained you are musically and the better progressions and melodies you give it, it's still going to give you better results.
Of course.
So this doesn't...
But someone who's not a musician at all can get something decent.
Yeah, better than they could have.
Absolutely.
But it's still not. It's not somehow replacing the pro with the hobbyist.
I speak to a lot of musicians. Some musicians are nervous, and then other musicians also tell me, "I love the creation part, and now everybody can do the creation part."
Right.
Correct.
And so just to wrap it up too for you,
yes.
Instead of I have the artwork that Kevin generated is right here, but the point that we were making about the reels and how it amplifies not only our social media but also our reach and our plays and everything. These are all completely AI generated and animated with different programs. So this is Runway.
Olvida todo lo que sabes, reprograma tu alma, liviana tu carga, vuela como un ave. Evita falsas amistades, desarrolla un criterio, domina ese miedo que te invade. Sé que es difícil llegar a final de mes, no te des por vencido, canaliza tu estrés, fluye como pez, respira cuenta 1, 2, 3, donde estés, nunca olvides que siempre estarás blessed. La rutina te fatiga y te castiga, miras arriba pidiendo que sea vía de llave. Los papeles con la cara de Bolívar ya no sirven para nada, solo de papel toilette.
Song we did with an artist, and then I have a couple more examples, but these specifically are nice because they're perfect loops on the sides here. Oh, sorry. This song comes out next Friday, actually.
Sunshine raining on my head, I've got blue skies coming off my breath, I'm on cloud 9.
And so, same
and
for...
that was all generated?
Yeah.
AI?
Yeah, 100% AI. Same with this one. There's not an ounce of, well, I guess maybe a couple ounces, but...
she's a fat cat. She makes me ow and it hurts so good.
Take the image. I just sent him the image. I generated for basically using the same inspiration that you guys had for us with the audio. I generated using Midjourney an album, just some artwork for basically using the rainbow-esque, right? So we're gonna throw that in and see if we can animate that real quick using it. And for me, again, I used Midjourney. This took all of 30 seconds to generate the image. And so we're gonna just do that, and it's gonna be you'll see how quickly we can bring together album artwork, reels for posting, and the music. So he's uploading it. I just picked something that was like a rainbow road, kind of inspired by the artwork that it came by. But this is much more artistic. This almost looks like a photo to me, and less animated that the other one did. And now he's uploading that right now to. Are you using Sora right now?
This is Sora.
Cool.
This is OpenAI's Sora model. This, which, by the way, if you were into the image generation update that just happened, and noticed that it got a lot less good quickly after. If you go to Sora.com, it's included in your ChatGPT subscription, and it's so much better than working right in ChatGPT. This might take a second, so let's just wrap up we'll say our goodnights, and then we'll play it at the end. But post-production, we use all of these, and all of these platforms for the audio visual have integrated AI in some way or another. Right now I'm using Sora. Here you see on the bottom for animation, but Runway ML Gen 4 just came out this week, and it is incredible. Kling is also very powerful. Kevin has used a lot.
Yeah, Kling is very cinematic.
All of these have different strengths and different weaknesses, but it's also working its way into more traditional Adobe softwares and CapCut. I'm sure you're familiar with CapCut. And then, of course, ways that we've also used it, because in entertainment now, you can't just be a musician. You have to do your own website. Actually, just vibe coded a video game with Grok the other day. And yeah, content strategy, contracts, everything. We're using it.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest areas, I think, for musicians and really everyone actually, is legality. That's gotten so difficult that it's very hard for any person to feel like if their rights are being infringed or if they see an issue that they themselves would have enough knowledge, legality to hire a lawyer, the whole nine. Now that's at your fingertips. I have many use cases where I could consult Grok or ChatGPT or Claude and basically get the exact legal codes that would be applicable in this case. I could prepare all of that and understand it myself as a layman in a way that was never possible before. So actually, for the musician, this suddenly brings back the main crux that has been a problem for a musician, where they don't have the funds or ability to hire a lawyer or get legality on their side. It is now accessible and affordable to them to use if someone has infringed their rights. So actually, it is going to help them fight any infringement that they might have. Of course, it has other infringement issues, but I'm saying it actually does give back the power to the person who, feels they need to get into a legal issue.
It's great. I knew you were a great musician, but this is fantastic that you're using AI to your advantage.
Yes, I mean, it's just another tool in the toolkit, honestly. And it's just an amazing one. It's only going to get better. Like Runway just dropped something that basically looks like movies. I mean, it doesn't. The part where you go, oh, that just looks like AI. That is going to get so much smaller.
No, it's going to get more narrow and narrow.
Yeah. So, and it already has in 1 year. So let's see. Yeah. We'll see. I know we've taken up so much time. It's still.
But no, I appreciate it. Stay with me afterwards, just for us to wrap up. I mean, my student. Just stay with me.
Sure. Absolutely.
Thank you very much. If you can stop sharing.
Sure.
And then I want to give you a round of applause. And then I feel like I'm inspiration song.
Yeah, I really, guys, it's such a brief class. I mean, we would have demoed a lot more, but I would urge you to. It's okay. It's okay.
But I wanted just to get a sense that they can put music into their own life and their own product.
No, I go use Runway, Suno, ChatGPT, like for these things.
What we just did was thousands of dollars worth of work while we were just talking about it.
Right. Yeah.
And anybody here could do that.
And the inspiration. I think it's just like when you're going to write something, you think about it 2 hours with these AI bots, it gets you a beginning.
Well, actually, yeah, it gives me a demo that now I'm not gonna want to necessarily release the entire AI version. I'm gonna take maybe an AI demo. I've done that, we've done that, but I also now feel inspired, like, oh, that's a really great idea that I'd love to hear with a live band. And I'm gonna go hire a live band and we're gonna go record it for real. So it actually sped that process up.
Professor Collins in the music school, he works with a lot of Grammy winners, and he always says, we're missing this part.
Yeah.
Let me go to AI for that inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus me, that I would love to be a great singer and musician, but I'm not. They can help me.
Even the Suno model, a lot of the if you keep iterating, a lot of the times you'll hear one that you're like, wait, is that me singing? And it will make your voice, it will use your voice as the core inspiration for that generation. Which is so cool.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You can stay with us, okay?
Thanks, guys.
So, folks, my own